Jonathan Royle. Put your hands together!
Thank you. Good evening, Manchester.
Good evening.
There was a bit of a delay there. We need to get you warmed up. I'm going to go off and come back on again, okay? Let's try this, everyone at the same time, okay? Good evening, Manchester! Fantastic. You can certainly make some noise. Now, there may not be a huge amount of you in here, so hopefully we've got quality, not quantity. Now, I need you to be as enthusiastic as you can tonight, so we're going to split you up, okay? The women, I think you know who you are. The men, you know who you are. So we'll start with the women. When volunteers come up here later on during the show, we're going to want to encourage them with a round of applause. So could we just have the women first? We want a loudest possible round of applause from you on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. That's good. The women are always in competition with the men, but you've got an advantage, guys. I'm on your side. I'll let the women go first so that you could hear how loud they were, so you know what you've got to beat. So on the count of 3. All the men in the room. 1, 2, 3. Surprisingly, that actually was just as good, if not slightly better. I thought it might have backfired that. Now let's see what it's like when you're all together, okay? 1, 2, 3 now. So when we get volunteers up here later on, when Luca gets volunteers, we want enthusiasm for them, because that energy is going to help Luca, hopefully, to be able to read your minds and do some amazing things, because tonight is nothing scary or nothing. It looks a little bit strange, but it's something that we're all kind of capable of. We all have these abilities. It's just the way that we react to words, ideas, thoughts, emotions in everyday life. So for example, the way we react to words can be strange sometimes. So I'm going to try and sort of mess with your minds before we start, but in a nice, fun kind of way. So the word silk, okay, it's spelled S-I-L-K.
Oh, backwards.
I've done it backwards. It looked right to me. Look, there we go. S-I-L-K. Okay. Did that read right for you then? Yeah, fantastic. When I put my hand out like that, what I'd like you to do is shout out the word silk, okay? Each time I do that with my hand, I want you to shout the word silk, and then, unexpectedly, I'm going to ask you a question. The very moment, the very second I ask you that question, I want you to shout out the first answer that comes into your brain. Does that make sense? So, the word silk. When I do that with my hand, starting now.
Silk. 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 Silk.
Faster.
Silk.
What the cows drink?
Water.
She got it right. She got it right. She got that before anyone else. And you know what? At 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to go outside and jump your mouth in the car park. Fantastic. Let's try a different. I'll tell you what. You give the other people a chance, and we can find out who's responsive to suggestions.
I do it.
The word tops, which is spelled, and we'll do it this way, just for you. T-O-P-S. Okay, when I put my hand out this time, it's the word tops. T-O-P-S. So, okay, let's go for it.
Tops. 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 Tops.
Faster. What you do at a green traffic light?
Stop.
Ah, you got it wrong. You go at a green one. That serves you right, doesn't it? See, word association can sometimes make us say the wrong thing, even if we have got the loudest mouth in the entire radio. I mean, that'd be fun, darling, honestly. Please don't take offence. Take a door, again, no offence. Words can have effects on us. Physical actions can as well, especially if you don't know the person that's making those physical actions. Because something that's entirely innocent, stop making up your own jokes, love. Something that's entirely innocent meaning to that person and their friends around them in a conversation, to us that don't know the context, can seem offensive. Or it can have a strange effect upon us. Now, in a non-offensive manner, hopefully, what I'd like you to do is take your right hand, that's the one on this side, okay? For those people that need it the right way around. Now just make a fist like that if you would. That's brilliant. Then put your forefinger out, that's the one on the top, and your thumb, and make a ring. Now on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to do, okay, do what I say. Just do what I say, not what I do what I say on the count of 3. So everyone look at me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, just touch it to your chin like this right now. Your chin's down here. You got that one wrong as well, didn't you, look? And so did quite a few other people. Because even though I told you to do what I said, you took that visual suggestion and your brain grabbed hold of it and took it, and you found yourself, the majority of you, touching it to your cheek. And that is how easily we can be influenced and made to do things in everyday life without realising why we've done it, which is something that very shortly you're going to see taken to the extreme. Now I need a volunteer, just one volunteer, and you know what we're going to do? I think you volunteered yourself right from the start. Go on. Give her a round of applause for pressure. Come on. Move your legs, your body will follow. Come on, Mum. Up the stairs. Okay, we're just going to move that there so that we definitely have it on the stage where it can't fall. You want to sit down there? That'd be fantastic. I apologise to the 2 people that have seen this before earlier in the week, but we're going to do this again because we've got new people in, so we can. And in fact, you know what? Because you sort of had a bit of an argument together, then put your drink down, give your handbag to your friend, yeah. Come up the stairs, everyone give you a round of applause. And I think we'll... Do you like to put your drink down, sir? That'd be fantastic. And if you could just make your way towards the stage, that too would be fantastic. And everyone will give you a round of applause. Can we borrow this gentleman here? Round of applause for this gentleman here, person number 3. And I need one more. Could we borrow this gentleman here, sir? Would that be okay? Round of applause for this gentleman here. Fantastic. And you were psychic. That's exactly where I was going to ask you to stand. See, it's already starting to happen. What I'd like you to do is just move this way ever so slightly. Feet together. That's brilliant. Just moving ever so slightly there. That's wonderful. And if you could do the same, like a mirror image on this side. That would be wonderful. Okay, loud and clear for everyone. What's your name? Janet, nice to meet you. And
Brian.
Brian and Joe and Frank. And finally, sat in our chair, we have
The Queen.
Karen the Queen. What time does she have to be back in the secure unit? Indeed. What I'd like you to do, and this will be easy for you, you can just stay sat there. I'd like everyone else who stood up, just place your hands like you had them before when we did the thing. Brilliant. Put your 4 fingers out. And then I'd like the people at the front just to kneel down slightly if you would, and place your fingertips under Karen's sort of knee area. That's brilliant. And I'd like you guys at the back to do the same, just under Karen's arms. Now, you may remember having done something similar to this at parties when you were young, so just try to lift her. Try and lift her now. Oh, and give up. We don't want you to hurt yourself. Just stand back up, stay where you are. That's wonderful. Now, years ago at parties, you may remember doing a thing similar to this, where afterwards you push down on the person's head for a while. Do you remember this, yeah? And then you suddenly go for it again, and you could lift them a little bit more. Now, the thing is, that works through to science, biology, and the fact is that when you're pushing down, you're creating muscle tension, and pushes the muscles together a little bit for a split second, they stay closer together, and it enables you to feel as though you've got a little bit more strength. So we're not going to do that, because that's physiology. Tonight we're dealing just with the mind. So Karen, if you can possibly come back to planet Earth just for 30 seconds. Brilliant, just sit down. Brilliant. Look at me. I'd like you to imagine right now as you look at me, look at my hand. Take a nice deep breath in. And then out. In. And then out. Just imagine. Just close your eyes down, keep them closed. If you'd be so good as to do that, that would be wonderful. If you could just close your eyes, Karen, please. And just imagine that you're getting lighter and lighter. Everyone that stood up, put your hands back in the position they were. And get ready, get back in your positions ready, but don't start lifting yet. Get in position. Look at me. I'm going to tap you on the head. The very moment I do, bang, 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 bang. Power, energy. Think of the colour red and lift on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, now lift. You can lift higher, 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 and down. We were further though, give them a round of applause because this time it's going to get even higher. Okay, everyone that stood up, you close your eyes this time. Brilliant. What I'd like to do, take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then out through your mouth. In through your nose, then out through your mouth. And just imagine the most amazing moment that's ever happened in your life. A time when you felt fantastic on top of the world. A time when you felt confident. A time perhaps when you won an award and passed your driving test. It may have been when you gave birth to your first child, or one of your loved ones did something amazing for you. But a time that makes you feel really good, fantastic, strong, invigorated, refreshed inside. And when you can see that really clear, almost as though you can, it's like you're back there. Just nod your head. That's fantastic, everyone. In which case, open your eyes and keep those feelings. Get your hands as they were before. Get back close in position. And on the count of 3, we're going to lift. 1, 2, 3. Lift down. Here we go. Hold. And down. Ladies and gentlemen, give everybody a huge round of applause as you all make your way back to the audience. Thank you very much indeed. The mind is capable of way more than we sometimes choose to believe. People talk about ESP as being extrasensory perception. My personal opinion is extra implies something that other people don't have. But if you look at the dictionary definition, it can also mean to an enhanced level. And that is my belief, that some people practice and enhance their sense of sight or hearing. Deaf people get very good at lip reading. People who are blind, their hearing is like razor pin sharp. That's life that dictates them to do that. And then some people choose to practice and hone these talents, such as the gentleman I'm about to introduce to you on stage. He's come all the way from Italy, he's travelled the world on the finest cruise ships. He's basically a household name in Italy, he's TV shows galore. Who's going to show you exactly how far the potential is of our human mind. So please put your hands together and welcome, direct from Italy, the one, the only, the truly amazing Luca Volpe.